Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is January 3rd, 2026, almost at 25. But Barcelona just defeated Espanyol 0-2 with goals of Dani Olmo and Robert Lewandowski. This is the post match live analysis. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Bo, and I'm still away from home. As you can see, I'm still in the closet trying to film, but don't worry because tomorrow I will be back home, and tomorrow is back to your regularly scheduled videos, podcasts, you name it. Well, today we're going to be talking about, of course, the Barcelona match that just ended between Espanyol and Barcelona at Espanyol Stadium, 0-2 with goals of Dani Olmo and Robert Lewandowski. Barcelona starting the year with a victory, and a very, very important victory, because not only was this a difficult and complicated match for Barcelona in a hostile stadium, but of course this also means that Barcelona are now 7 points ahead of Real Madrid. Tomorrow, Real Madrid are set to play against Real Betis with an injured Kylian Mbappe. So if tomorrow Real Madrid loses, we'll stay at 7 points. Obviously, if they draw, then it will be 6 points. But if they win, then there's nothing to gain for them because they're back to 4 points, which was the difference between the before the end of the year. So very important victory, very important 3 points. And again, what was a very difficult match for Barcelona. Now, we are going to talk about, of course, the lineup, and then we'll talk about my general sensations about the team and then the individual players. But let's start with the lineup because this is the lineup that Hansi Flick chose for today's match. Of course, on goal, the MVP of the match, Joan Garcia, who we're going to be talking about in a little bit, Jules Koundé and Balde as our two fullbacks, Pau Cubarsí and Gerard Martini as our two center backs. In the double pivot, we have Eric Garcia and Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong starting ahead of Pedri because, of course, Pedri did miss the last match of last year against Villarreal due to discomfort. So I guess he wasn't, when you come back from injury, you don't really start. So Flick bringing him on later on. And then Lamine Yamal and Marcus Rashford on the wings with Rafinha today starting in the attacking midfield position. And our number 9 was Ferran Torres. Now, general sensations. This was not a great match by Barcelona. The match actually started really bad by Barcelona, where the movement of the ball was very slow. We had very slow transitions, which did not allow us to create a lot of chances. And the very few chances that we created, we could not finalized. Now, this is not to take away from what Espanyol did, because I think Espanyol get a lot of credit here because today they were very organized tactically. Their transitions were so quick when they would transition from defense to offense. Their attacks were always very well organized, and while their defensive block, well, very, very difficult to be beaten. So great job by Espanyol, tactically speaking, on a team level and even on an individual level. And that, of course, made it very complicated for Barcelona. And in fact, during the first half, Barcelona didn't generate anything. It was Espanyol who had 2 clear chances. Both chances were saved by our MVP, Joan Garcia, which again we're gonna be talking about a little bit further. Now, second half started the same thing. Again, Barcelona really find it difficult to generate chances because of their slow transitions, because of the slow ball movement, and again couldn't finalize either. Then Espanyol really started hammering us, chance after chance after chance. Many clear chances created by Espanyol, all saved by Joan Garcia. And then, of course, Hansi Flick doing what he always does, changing the outcome of the match from the bench. He made some tactical changes. He brought in Pedri, he brought in Fermin Lopez, he brought in Dani Olmo, he brought in Robert Lewandowski. And with those substitutions, that completely changed how Barcelona were operating on the field. Not by a lot, but enough, of course, for Barcelona to score those 2 late goals and take home that very important victory and 3 very, very important points in what looked like a match where we could have easily lost if it wasn't for our MVP, Joan Garcia. But thankfully, those tactical changes all came in to help us. Now, let's talk about players, because Joan Garcia, ladies and gentlemen, we have a world-class goalkeeper at our hands. We have a miracle goalkeeper at our hands. These are the kind of goalkeepers that make the difference between winning trophies and losing them. Can you imagine what would have been last season with Joan Garcia on goal in that Champions League match against Inter Milan? Because had he saved just one of the many goals that Inter Milan scored, we could have been in that final. Joan Garcia, ladies and gentlemen, the MVP of the match. What a goalkeeper. And to think that we only paid 25 million euros for him. I mean, it's the steal of the century alongside the signing of Pedri. I mean, absolute steal. At this point, I would call Espanyol and say, hey, man, sorry, we ripped you off. Here's another 25 million euros because this guy is worth triple that because what a goalkeeper. Now, I usually don't like when goalkeepers are the MVP of the match because that means that the team had a bad match, which we kind of did. But I mean, how can you be mad at Joan Garcia being MVP of the match today? Because his performance was absolutely phenomenal. Using Gerard Maldini to block a shot, pushing Gerard Maldini to block a shot. That hand in the first half where the Espanyol attacker heads it and it looks like it's going to go in, and somehow, some way, he saves it with one finger. I mean, that 1-1 against Fernandez, that play, 9 out of 10 times, it either ends in goal or it ends in a penalty kick. Whenever a goalkeeper goes 1v1 against an attacker and the attacker dribbles and the goalkeeper dives, he's either going to miss the dive and the attacker is going to score a goal, or he's going to end up taking down the attacker and it's going to be a penalty kick 9 out of 10 times. Today, Joan Garcia saving a 1v1. An absolutely amazing match by the former Espanyol goalkeeper, and to think the difficult circumstances that he had to operate under, because he came in into a hostile stadium, a hostile welcome, fans that were pissed at him because they feel that he has betrayed them by joining Barcelona. Every time he touched the ball, he was getting booed. Espanyol players during the corner kicks, they were going up to him, whispering in his ear, talking shit to him. He was not affected one so bit. He didn't care about the stadium. He didn't care about the fans, about the insults, about the other players trying to psych him out. Nothing. He kept his cool and he played miraculously. I mean, what a performance by Joan Garcia. I mean, again, these are the kind of saves that make the difference between winning a trophy and losing it. Because today, the 3 points that we got, it's not because of Dani Olmo's goal, it's not because of Robert Lewandowski's goal, it's 100% because of Joan Garcia's performance. Because if it wasn't for his saves, even if Dani Olmo and Lewandowski would have still scored their goals, this match could have ended up 4-2, 3-2, maybe 5-2. So today's victory is 100% the result of Joan Garcia's performance. And as the title of this live says, Luis de la Fuente, what are you waiting for? Joan Garcia needs to be the starting goalkeeper for Spain. If Joan Garcia is in goal for the World Cup, Spain can win the World Cup, because again, there's very, very few goalkeepers in the world that can do these kind of saves, Courtois being the other one, and this is how you win. This is how Real Madrid won a lot of trophies, just by having Courtois stopping everything that would come his way so the other teams couldn't score, and then Real Madrid would have one play where they would score one goal, and that's it, over. They won Champions League like that, 2 Champions Leagues like that. They won La Liga like that. And now we have our own Courtois, whose name is Joan freaking Garcia. 25 million euros, the biggest steal of the century. What a performance. Now, more players I want to talk about. Eric Garcia, incredible in the midfield during the first half. Besides him, Joan Garcia, maybe Pau Garcia and Gerard Mardini, who had a few saves here and there. I think that's the only players I would say from the first half, because our attack was abysmal. Rafinha, completely gone today. Marcus Rashford, a disaster like always. He blows hot and cold. Ferran, a disaster as always. He cannot be our starting center forward. I don't care how many goals he has. I don't care that he's the Pichichi or the top scorer of Barcelona. Really bad. Lamine Yamal tried things, but he just could not finalize. He also put in a lot of great through passes to Ferran Torres, whose control was horrible, so he would end up losing the ball. Not good at all. And then, and Frankie de Jong, slow as always, holding on to the ball for too long, dribbling it for too long, doing the spins for too long. But again, thankfully, Hansi Flick made the substitutions. Fermin Lopez, to me, the second best player of the match. Number one, of course, being Joan Garcia, because Fermin Lopez, the 2 goals were all his effort. I mean, during the first goal, the way he spins to get around the Espanyol defender, the way he drives the ball, the way he makes the right decision of passing it to Dani Olmo, and Dani Olmo, his touch, my God, chef's kiss of a goal, the way he curls it from outside of the box to put it in the top corner. Nothing that the Espanyol goalkeeper could do. And this, of course, shows something that I've always said. Dani Olmo, very talented player, but of course, it's unfortunate how much he gets injured. If Dani Olmo can stay healthy, he could definitely be a difference maker because he has the quality. We've seen it time and time again that he has the quality, but unfortunately, he's inconsistent. Part of it is because his injuries. Another part is just sometimes, I guess, when you're in and out of injury, it's just difficult to maintain rhythm, difficult to maintain form. But what a goal by Dani Olmo. Again, half of that goal was Fermin Lopez's effort because the way he got rid of the Espanyol defender, the way he gives the pass to Dani Olmo, I mean, absolutely beautiful, beautiful goal by Barcelona. Second goal, same thing, all of Fermin Lopez's effort. The way he gets the pass from Lamine Yamal, drives the ball all the way to the back of the line, and then he makes that cross to Lewandowski. Then Lewandowski with that beautiful touch just buries his boot under the ball to tip it over the Espanyol defender who was coming for the slide, and then just pushes it in for his chest. The 110th goal for Robert Lewandowski for Barcelona, and that pretty much gave us the victory, 0-2. And what wasn't the best performance by Barcelona, but again, these matches, these are the matches that win you La Liga titles, because not every match is going to be easy. Not every match you're going to win 4-5-0. Some matches are going to be like today, where you have to fight, where you have to pull a victory miraculously. And today it was all thanks to the efforts of Dani Olmo. Not Dani Olmo, of Joao Garcia, and of course the substitutions that Hansi Flick made, bringing in Dani Olmo, Fermin, Lewy, and Pedri, which completely made the team more fluid and of course gave us the 2 goals. So 3 very important victories again, points. Okay, Barcelona are now 7 points ahead of Real Madrid. Real Madrid tomorrow playing against Real Betis. It will not be an easy match. We'll see what happens, but I'm very, very happy for today's victory. What a way to start the year. Start in 2026 with a victory. Hopefully we can keep that going. Now let's do some comments, and then of course, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick. I got a cold. Let's do a few more comments and then we'll end this. But let's see what everyone is thinking. Conte says, Mo, number 1 analysis within Barca fan. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for joining and for your comment. Street Fighter says, to show how good Joan is, he has 1 less clean sheet than Courtois with 6 game miss. Wow, I did not know that. I mean, that is pretty amazing. I mean, he was out due to that injury, the surgery that he had. To only have 1 less clean sheet, that's pretty amazing. Luke says, almost the best player in the world. Are we talking about Joao Garcia? Because, I mean, right now I would still give it to Courtois, just because Courtois has been doing it for a lot longer and Courtois has won a lot more. But Joao Garcia is there, man. He's there. He is making a case that he is the best goalkeeper in the world. But of course, it's still too early. This is only his first season at a top club. Street Fighter says, todavía estoy pidiendo que revise el préstamo del jugador con cláusula de recompra. Which one? Which player are you talking about? The Jeff says, don't sign Rashford. He's a scrub. I'm still not convinced with Rashford. I'm still not I mean, this guy blows hot and cold all the time. He just, I don't know. Sometimes he'll score goals. You're like, yay, amazing. And then next match, he just completely disappears. I don't know if that's worth 30 million euros. Luke says Rafinha shouldn't play at Cam again. Yeah, he really looked lost today. He really, really looked lost. Maybe that's not the best position for him, because I think this is the second or third match that I've seen Rafinha play in an attacking midfield position and not really feeling too comfortable. And then, you switch him back to left wing, and then it's back to the old Coutinho. So, yeah, maybe that's not the best place for him. Curtis says, we've got Courtois and we need to just be happy. Yes, we do. And Night Game says, Juan Garcia absolutely silenced these pathetic Espanyol fans by his insane performance. He haunted them once again, and he won man of the match in their ground. Yeah, absolutely, man. Wow, what a performance by Juan Garcia. And go off Peru, Kunde, terrible again. I didn't think it was terrible. I don't think it was a great match by him either. I think he was in line with everyone else, because, again, this wasn't the best, sharpest match by Barcelona. So I wouldn't say terrible, but I wouldn't say great either. I think the only ones who shined for me was, of course, Juan Garcia, Eric Garcia during the first half, and then, of course, Fermin Lopez pretty much generating those 2 goals for Barcelona. John Williams says, big up Mo, it was an ugly win, but it can be a title-deciding win, and we must have to sign a CB this January. No excuses. I mean, there is an excuse. Again, there's no money, there's no financial fair play. So this whole, we have to sign, there's no excuses. Well, reality is a little bit different. Let's see. Guaf says, did you see how Juan threw Maldini at the ball? Yes, that was absolutely hilarious. I mean, that just goes to show the level of intelligence of Juan Garcia. I mean, his football IQ in the moment, I mean, you're like scrambling, just trying to get, and then to think about it. Oh, there comes Maldini. Let me push him and use him. I mean, that's pure instinct. And that instinct cannot be learned. That's not something you can teach someone in training session. B4K Chema says, Mo, we always say a goalkeeper can win you games, and we just saw it today with Juan Garcia. All we need is a killer striker, but no options, by the way. Could doubt heard City's interested in him. I haven't heard anything about City being interested in him, but maybe I'm just behind because today I haven't been reading up too much on the news. I've been sick, so I've been in bed a lot all day, but I'll check it out for sure. Let me see. Stefan says a club in Catalonia called Espanyol is doomed from the day it's founded. It's like cussing in the church. That's funny. And Conte says, good start for the beginning of the year. 100%. What a way to start 2026 with a victory. And Matamati says, Garcia, best signing ever. I don't know about ever, but definitely a great signing. It's an absolute steal. But I can think of other great signings that we also made, like Ronaldinho and how he changed, Barcelona's trajectory. There's so many more. Luis Suarez, Dani Alves, Thierry Henry helped us win the treble. I mean, there's a lot of great signings. I wouldn't say ever, but definitely a great signing. Funk Frank says, important goal from Olmo, just like he did last season, but Mo still thinks we don't need him. We don't. We really don't. I mean, besides that goal, what else did Dani Olmo contribute? I mean, please point it out. I'll be happy to hear it. Evgeny says, the clown Fuente search for an excuse not to start Juan Garcia. Yeah, I mean, honestly, with Juan Garcia in goal, I think Spain could win the World Cup because, again, world keepers can, a class world keeper like that, world-class goalkeeper like that, a miracle goalkeeper like that. When I say miracle, because there's great goalkeepers who can make great saves, and there are shots that you just cannot save, no matter how great you are. And then there are the miracle goalkeepers like Courtois or Joao Garcia who can save those make those miracle stops, who can save those shots that are impossible for anyone else. Where if the rest cannot make it, you cannot blame them because you're like, yeah, there's nothing you can do in that shot. But very few goalkeepers like Courtois and like Joao Garcia can make those saves that the rest cannot, that you cannot blame the rest for not saving because they're impossible. But these goalkeepers do it. And that's, again, a difference between a trophy and not a trophy. Willie says, what do you think about letting Frankie go to another injury-free midfielder because he seems to do anything when Pedri is not on the field? I mean, I've been saying that for a while, but people think I'm crazy. I mean, Frankie de Jong, at best, he's been inconsistent. Sure, he's had good moments here and there, but was he worth everything that we paid for in salary and transfer fee? Absolutely not. And Costa says, defensively, we were pure garbage. Joao really saved us from a stinker. Juan Garcia really did save us from a lot. But anyways, that is all I have to say for today. Again, great victory. 3 very important points. Great way to start the year with a victory. 7 points ahead of Madrid, as Madrid are set to play against Real Betis tomorrow without Kylian Mbappe. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section if you're watching this once it ends. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Biscarsa.